Hey everyone, Tim with Collect Jurassic, and we're here with a very exciting news update, our favorite kind, which is new toy reveals. Today in this video, we're looking at what's next from Mattel's Dino Escape toy line. Now, a lot of what we're looking at in this video is probably due out late this year, most likely next year. But without further ado, let's jump right into the first assortment, and that is the Wild Pack assortment. We have 4 new figures to look at today, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on with each and every one of these individual figures. So let's go ahead and get started with the first figure. That would be Rampferricus. I think this is the 3rd repaint of Rampferricus that we've gotten from Mattel. Interesting little flying reptile, sort of not quite a Dimorphodon, a little smaller, a little toothier. I've always not been a huge fan of this sculpt myself, but I thought the last repaint they did of it was actually pretty good. And this most recent one here has that nice neutral coloring that we're seeing a lot with the Dino Escape figures. So for my money, this one actually looks pretty cool, and I'm actually looking forward to it. So we'll definitely be picking up that one. Next up, we have another Velociraptor. I don't think you can ever get any wave or assortment buy from Mattel without a Velociraptor. This is one of the flagship dinosaurs from Jurassic after all, so not surprised to see that here, but kind of a cool colorway. It's not one of the Raptor squads, at least that we know of, but a nice natural colorway for this Attack Pack Raptor. Not a new sculpt or anything, just a new paint job. Like I said, they basically compelled to release a Raptor every time. But this one I am excited about. One of my favorite figures ever from Mattel, and it's never had a repaint, which is the Mononycus. I like it so much I actually have a couple of them because they're just cool little interesting dinosaurs with their one claw forearms, but I love this new colorway. It looks so much like a bird down to the stripes on the feathers and sort of that white chin that also has that sculpted feathers on it. I just love what they've done with this species, giving it more bird-like appearance. So this next repaint is definitely something to be excited about. And then we have an all-new figure joining the Wild Packs, and that is the Shringasaurus. Hope I'm saying that right. I'm not even really sure it's a dinosaur. I need to do my homework. Mattel is always making me research dinosaurs I don't know anything about, and Shringasaurus definitely is one of them. Honestly, it looks like a terror dog from Ghostbusters, which isn't the first Ghostbuster-like dinosaur design we've seen from Mattel. But very interesting looking colors. I love the sculpt. Almost looks like it has a T-Rex head. So something pretty weird and unique on the way from Wild Packs. All 4 of these figures, of course, are going to be all new, but that Shringasaurus is the actually only true new sculpt happening here. So pretty cool stuff on the way from Wild Packs. Next up, we have Fierce Force. Again, 4 figures, and there's some already some cool repaints going on here, as well as an all-new figure, which we'll get to. We'll start with Cerakosaurus. What I think is funny about the Mattel Cerakosaurus is that it doesn't matter. This is the 3rd time they've come out with it, and they almost always look very similar in terms of how they style the paint. I mean, they all have different paint applications, of course, but the patterns, like the lighter color on the crest, the way the horns are colored, the way there's that big dark blob on the back of it, all 3 Steracosauruses seem to share that same sort of pattern technique, and this new one is no exception. So joining the other 2 Cerakosaurs we already have. We also have a Monolothosaurus on the way. We've gotten more Monolothosauruses now than I can even count, right up there with Baryonyx and Dimorphodon. They're one of Mattel's favorite figures to repaint. And this one isn't a surprise either because, there's lots of exposure for this figure from Camp Cretaceous. So they're going to probably keep pumping these out almost as closely as Raptors, but very subdued paint job on this one. Just very simple greens, but another Monolothosaurus to collect for all you completionists. Then we have a relatively new repaint, Myazakosaurus, a figure that I don't even have in my hands yet because it's not actually out yet, but it's on the way. The first version is on the way from Fierce Force, and it looks like we're getting a second Fierce Force repaint of it, and I gotta say, I'm really digging this colorway more than that debut paint job. That one was just a little bit too simple for me, and this one makes it feel a little bit more like a living, breathing animal with those leopard spots on the back. So looking forward to collecting this one over the first one. Then, of course, we have an all-new sculpt, which is Tanystrophesis. a classic species from the Kenner line, and I think a lot of people are looking forward to this figure just because it's from the Kenner line, the species anyway, but Mattel's execution of it, for my money, leaves a little bit to be desired, especially the head. It looks just like the Rampferricus head, and they popped it on the body. Everything else looks okay. I love the colors and the proportions, but that face is only a mother could love. But maybe with the jaws closed, it'll look a little bit cooler. I'm hoping anyway. But these are the 4 new Fierce Force figures that we can expect. Again, probably late this year, more than likely next year, with Kentosaurus probably being the most anticipated. Now let's head over to Aurora Attack, another sort of medium-sized line, bigger than the first 2 assortments with some electronic features. The first figure we're going to look at is Ceratosaurus, another species that's gotten a lot more, I guess, play from Mattel since Camp Cretaceous came out, since it is in the show, along with Monolothosaurus. It seems like we're getting a lot of figures of that all of a sudden. This would be the new Aurora Attack Sculpt 2. That's a little bit different than any sculpt before it, especially with the bigger feet that stand in the head, but pretty subtle colorway here, pretty muted, not a lot of color going on, but it's a great sculpt, so happy to see another version of it. We also have another Allosaurus on the way. This would be the second Aurora Attack Allosaurus. There's one coming out later this year that we don't have in hand yet, and I think that would make it the 4th Allosaurus from Mattel, but this one looks like a straight up redo of the Battle at Big Rock version that we already have a Roarivore of, but this might be slightly retooled so it stands better, has better proportions, etc. So a Battle at Big Rock Allosaurus is coming yet again, and we'll be able to collect it here pretty soon. Then, of course, we have an all-new figure, which is Kentosaurus, a herbivore. Really excited about this one. I always loved this species as a kid, and we're getting a Mattel version of it, Aurora Attack, so that you can expect some electronic features, some action features. I'm guessing it's a tail swinging sort of deal, but really excited about this one. I love the colorway. Not too colorful, but also very much feels like a natural animal's pattern. So super stoked to get another Stegosaurid from Mattel, and that it's Kentosaurus. So those 3 are on the way. Again, Aurora Attack, sort of those medium-sized dinosaurs in Mattel's price point. And that Battle at Big Rock Allosaurus is going to be pretty exciting to collect for a lot of you out there as well. Now, finally, we're going to talk about the new camper packs. These are the Human Dinosaur 2-packs. Finally getting some much requested characters, as well as some cool dinosaur figures. We'll jump into Darius. This is Darius's 3rd re-release after having the Target Camp Adventure set and then a 2-pack last year that saw him come with was it Bumpy or Blue? I can't quite remember for this video, but this new version has him coming out with a baby Brachiosaurus wild pack and also some binoculars, which I don't know if that's something from the next season of the show or what, but he also has that Raptor chamber too. But a new baby Brachiosaurus with a different colorway is definitely what makes this set fun. We also have Sammy, one of the missing Camp Cretaceous characters, coming with a wild-colored Velociraptor that I actually really dig, as well as 2 different colored compies. I love that Mattel is embracing different colored compies now. I think we need that with the amount of the regular green compies we already have. So kind of fun, but Sammy's here, no accessories. She's just coming with those compies, but definitely a character we badly needed, and it looks like she looks exactly like her character from the show, just like the other figures. So we expect a pretty faithful representation of the character here, but gotta say that Raptor's wild colors are really drawing my eye here. Pretty fun. And we also have Brooklyn. This is it. This is the full camp set now. We will have every camper once Brooklyn comes out. I love how she has her torn denim jeans. She also comes with the same tricycle that the Kenji 2-pack comes with, as well as the same Monolothosaurus with a different color paint. So again, you can see Mattel really leaning into Monolothosaurus as they release more figures since it was in the show. But I really like this Brooklyn design. Again, it's going to look just like her, just like the other figures represent their characters on the show. And we'll finally have the full camper set with the release of Brooklyn, which is going to be just awesome to have all those figures from the show. And of course, those Dinosaur 2-packs make these a nice kind of value proposition too. So human figures on the way for Camp Cretaceous. that's pretty much every figure we know about at this point. I will say that we are missing the Mega Destroyer assortment for this reveal, so there could be a couple more figures up Mattel's sleeve that we have yet to see, but we can expect, again, most of these to be hitting late this year, probably more like next year, maybe even extending into the spring next year, just the way we see these things turn around. But thanks for joining me in this video where I broke everything down. Again, I'm Tim with Collect Jurassic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.